If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that over the last several years, we have learned with absolute certainty that the spaces that you design shape how people live, not just interact in their space, but live in their bodies, their minds, their hearts, their soul, right? And the future of design is so much more than simply the aesthetics. And that's why I want to tell you about the Design Hounds Living Well Retreat. It's happening this February 19th through 22nd in Sarasota, Florida. That's 2026. This is not a trend workshop. It's not a quick getaway, although it kind of is, right? But what it really is a thoughtful, forward-looking retreat for designers who want to explore wellness, longevity, technology, and how the homes you design will and do support the people who live them over time, over decades, right? It's also time for you during this weekend to slow down, to think clearly, to reconnect with why you choose to do this work in the first place. This retreat immediately chases KBIS. So I'm going to be in Florida for KBIS, and then I am going to get on this Design Hounds bus in Orlando and make my way down to Sarasota with the Design Hounds group. So if you also know the future of our industry is about designing with intention and impact, this retreat is worth your attention. You can reserve your seat by going to designhounds.com/event. All right. That's designhounds.com/event. The link will also be in the show notes. And when you check out, use the code DH20 to get 20% off the ticket, right? Excellence is a decision, and so is how you choose to invest your time and money. I hope to see you in Florida. Welcome to A Well-Designed Business. My name is Luann Nigara, and I'm so glad you found this podcast. Together with my husband Vince and our partner Bill, we have grown our company WindowWorks from the ground up. So I know and I understand the challenges you face in running your interior design business. I also know that your talent alone isn't enough to ensure your success. So on this podcast, we talk about strategies and practical steps to help you grow your business. But make no mistake about it, we have our share of fun here too, mixed in with those aha moments that I love so much. This isn't fluff. Nobody has time for that. Whether you are a new interior designer or a seasoned designer, I am here to help you create and to manage the kind of interior design firm that you dream of. It's straight talk and it's action. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hi, welcome to A Well-Designed Business. Before we get into today's episode, I want to let you know that we're doing something a little different over the next several months. We're bringing back the most downloaded, the most talked about episodes from the last 9 years of A Well-Designed Business. These are the episodes that built businesses, that sparked aha moments, that turned you into an action taker. Now, if you're wondering why we're revisiting these episodes and what's changing with the show overall, well, I walk you through the full vision in our April 25th, 2025 episode titled The Big Shift, What's Changing on a Well-Designed Business and Why. That episode is linked for you in the show notes. Now, a quick heads up. These episodes are airing as they originally did. That means the music might sound familiar or it might be vintage. That means the event dates will definitely be out of date that I talk about. And it also means that any offers that are mentioned may or may not be valid still. But the insights, still golden. So whether it's your first time hearing this episode or your fifth time hearing it, there's something in this conversation for you right now in this season of your business. So here's the show. I hope you enjoy it. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Power Talk Friday on A Well-Designed Business. And everybody can start doing their happy dance right now because I have Kae Whitaker with me. Hey Kae, how you doing, lady?
Hello, Luann. How are ya?
I am great. And I am so happy to have you on the show again because I have to just tell everybody how this happened. This is hysterical. So I did this whole series on Facebook, right? On Facebook ads, on Facebook Live, on Facebook this and every, all these different things. And so it was great. And then the next thing I said to myself is like, okay, Luann, now you need a series on like click funnels and, shopping cart things and, email responders and landing pages. And I'm out there on my podcast land looking for people and listening to all these podcasts, trying to find just the right person that I think really is going to relate to us and talk to us designers, but really have the technical end of it. And what happens? One day I'm sitting there and all of a sudden I get a notification, Kae Whitaker's live on Instagram, and I pop over there and there you are talking about click funnels and email sequences. And I went, oh, good Lord, I just hit the jackpot. So, because I know you speak our language. And so I was like, that's why I write in the chat there, I'm like, you want to be on my show and talk about this? Come on.
Completely throwing me off.
Exactly. So if you are one of the people out there that doesn't know Kae Whitaker yet, then that only means you haven't listened to every one of my shows. So if you're new, welcome to the show. Happy to have you. And if you are new, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Kae and her bio here. Kae is the owner and the CEO of Kae Whitaker Solutions. She has over 10 years experience in retail sales and marketing development. And now she focuses on helping small businesses stay competitive in their market and reach and surpass their revenue goals. She has worked with some of the nation's largest retailers, and now she takes her expertise in retail sales and marketing development to create her premium coaching program that help small business owners tune into what matters most in their marketing efforts, streamlining their process and maximizing on their clientele. So Kae her highest achievements come through helping others reach their goals and loves the opportunity to take your brand to the next level. And I'm going to tell you, I absolutely stand here and endorse Kae 100%. We just had a show recently with Ann Rue from Orlando, Florida, who learned about Kae from the podcast, from my podcast, a Well-Designed Business podcast. And after being in business 18 years, she heard Kae on the show, hired her, and she emailed me and asked to be on the show saying, here's my hook. Because I know you guys, if you want to be on the show, you got to hit me with a hook. And she said, how coaching helped me after 18 years in business. And when she said that and emailed that to me, Kae, I didn't know it was you. And so then we started talking off air and, she says, blah, blah, blah. And then at one point she said, and Kae this, I was like, wait, did you hire Kae Whitaker? And she's like, yes, I did. And I was like, did you know her before the show? She's like, no, I did not. So the thing is that you have been on the show. This is probably like your fourth appearance?
Fourth time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we've talked about branding. I just recommended you to somebody in one of my private coaching sessions just this week, Kae. We were talking about branding, and of course, what I know is what I know, but I know what you know is more than what I know in branding. And so we had a nice long discussion about it, really helped her get some clarity, but I did say go back and listen to the episode with Kae Whitaker on branding because I really thought that you nailed it there. So I'm so happy and delighted to have you back because I know that you're well loved by my audience. And as I said, if anybody out there is new, just hit back in iTunes and search Kae Whitaker and those three other shows. Make sure you have a pen and paper, though. I'm just saying you can't do it while you're running or driving. That's it. So, okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about email sequence and funneling and the sales funnel and all of that stuff. But let's start with, because you know what? Who knows where everybody is in their journey here and, where they are and what do they even know? So tell us what is a sales funnel? And, the first question is, what is a sales funnel? And then we're going to get to, and why does an interior designer need to know about it? But start with, what is a sales funnel?
Okay, so a sales funnel is pretty much a method that you use to generate quality leads for your business that keep your pipeline full. So I know a lot of times as interior designers, we have projects, but those projects, they come few and far between, depending on the length of time that it takes to complete each project. And normally you're working a lot and working the logistics of that project and not paying a whole lot of attention to, once this project is done, where's my next business going to come from? So a sales funnel is a really good way to use the internet, use your offline efforts when you're going to speak and networking events, just to keep your pipeline full and move your leads through like a journey with your company that takes them from just becoming aware of your business to actually being a consumer of your service.
Okay, well, I mean, now we don't even have to say, why is this important to interior designers? Let's be serious.
Like, you need to get paid. So there needs to be as many leads in that pipeline as possible, to keep, revenue flowing into your business. I know a lot of times we're trying to scale, we're trying to grow, we're trying to hire assistants and really focus on marketing, and those things take revenue. So
Right.
if you don't have anything coming in, then it's almost impossible to effectively scale your business. So it's important to have that system in place so that you can predict your revenue, and be able to make wise decisions on when to invest in other pieces of your business.
Yeah. And so the thing is, what's funny is because for somebody like myself who has come from, listen, a lot of the audience that's listening to us, Kae, a lot of the interior designers are in business under 10 years, right? Me, 30 plus, there was nothing like this. And I have to tell you, I've been talking to my husband about it a lot lately. And, he's a smart man. He gets it. But he's sort of just like, well, aren't we just going to put an ad in the Distinctive Living magazine again? Like, you know what I mean? It's like a whole new way of thinking about your marketing working for you while you're busy working in your business, right? Instead of, okay. But the thing about it is that what I understand about it is that it takes a good amount of investment of time and money to set it up so that it can go work in the background while you go back to working your business. Would you agree with that? Am I right on that part there, Kae?
You are correct.
Okay.
So this is not something that you can just do in a weekend and then bust it out and hope it works.
Right. And I have to tell you, you know what? The thing is, like, we every year we analyze what we spent on marketing the year before, and we determine what worked, what didn't work. We have a big roundtable discussion with myself, my husband, and our salespeople, and he goes through it with us. Okay, we did this. We spent $25,000 on this publication. We spent $14,000 on that, this and that, and the other thing. And we all talk. Did it work? Did it not work? We look at the numbers because we intake everything and say, how did you hear about us and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, back in the day, we literally could have 2 1.5-hour meetings in January and say goodbye to our marketing, because we would just say, okay, so we're going to, for March, April, and May, we're going to run one ad a week in Design, New Jersey. And in May, June, and July, we're going to run an ad a week in each of these 4 things. And, but it's not like that anymore. It's this big, and the thing is, on one hand, it's so exciting because once you take the time, money, and effort to do it, it does work in the background for you. But it's really, this is where I get like a little deer in the headlights with it, because if I'm going to take a lot of time out of my day to day and a lot of money out of my checkbook to set something up that's now going to work in the background automated, I want it to be right. I don't want to do it and then find out in 6 months like I did it wrong and that's why it's not performing. So it's very like I get a little like I got to know everything before I do something. So, and I know I'm eventually going to have to, when I do something of this level, it's probably going to be technically above my pay grade or above the grade that I'm willing to get down and dirty and actually learn. But I also am not willing to task somebody with it until I understand it.
Absolutely. And that's really key. And what you're saying is absolutely valid. Even for myself, like we dove into email marketing this year because we have a conversation every year. Where are we investing and what is the return on that investment? And can we see when that investment is going to create a return for us? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times when you're doing print publication, you can't see it. You invest on past track record. and hope that you can generate X amount of dollars from your investment, but there's no way to see it. Like, you can't physically see when that's going to happen. And one of the things that attracted me to email marketing is that I can look in my pipeline and see, based off of customers' actions and the way they're responding to an email, when they're ready to be pitched, when they're ready to be asked if this is a service that they're looking for. And the conversion is very, very high when I'm watching it. So it's a double-edged sword. Does it take a lot of time? Yes. And that's, I can be completely honest, and it's something that you're going to have to monitor ongoing. But to be able to predict revenue and to see that, okay, this investment that I made at this point of the year has already paid for itself, and based off of what my average number is, this is what I can expect to earn from these efforts that are working in the background while I'm doing something else. Hands down, for me, I was like, well, I at least need to learn how to do it.
Yes.
Even if I don't do it, I need to invest in learning how to get that done and see what it does, because I'll invest in that to see if it works. And if it works, then we're definitely going to make it a staple. And in 6 months, since we applied it like in May, going on 6 months, we've seen a major difference in our conversions and knowing how to predict the revenue.
Wow.
That is what has me like, okay, this is something that we need to talk about.
Okay. So now let me ask you something. This is leading to a sequence, which we're going to get to. But before you tell us a little bit more about the connection and how to draw them into that. If your first opt-in is a video, is it important that, or does it matter that the second or third thing that comes to them is video, or it just doesn't matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
If you do a video, because design is so visual, I highly suggest video, because you can do demonstrations. And video really converts well from an opt-in standpoint, because people get to get some insight into your personality. They get to see all the chemistry. Do I like her? Do I like the way she speaks? That type of thing. So do I understand her? And it gives them insight into, especially for those of you that are doing consultations and you're charging for your consultations, hopefully, this is worth paying for. This is absolutely worth paying for, because I already love her, because I got to see her on camera, or him on camera. I know their mannerisms. I know how they would likely behave when I call them out to my home. So ding, 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 home run.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So the first thing is to start and look at your own particular services. What are the things that you offer? And then based on the things that you offer and that you're good at and that you feel super confident about selling to people, you think about the enticing things that are components of that service that you could develop something as a free giveaway, whether it's a video with tips on something in your superpower, or if it's a PDF on based on those things. So that's the first thing. We create that free thing. And I know there's a whole lot of technical stuff that's got to happen, but like for right now, we're going to bypass the technical part, because I think you and I talked about it. I think that might be a separate show. So we're going to do a helicopter view, the sequence, how it works. And then we can always do another show, you guys, where it's like, okay, you have these things and how do you technically set it up? What software or plugins or, some other technical word that means all that stuff that makes it happen. I don't know what it is. We'll figure it out. But okay, so we have our first opt-in. They've signed up for our email list. What happens? Is this now they go into an automated sequence where they get more content from us automatically? Is that's where we're going with this, Kae?
Yes.
Okay.
So once they have your free offer, and I like to call it storyboarding, just to give it an example. So once they have their free offer, there's a series of maybe 6 or 7 emails that can go out over the course of a week and a half, that can take them through a process. So that initial email that they're going to receive is like the welcome email. Hey, thanks for signing up. Here's your video. And by the way, I'm going to also send you a few emails over the next few days that are going to further help you understand this process. So you set them up and let them know, hey, I'm going to be emailing you, so don't be surprised when you get an email tomorrow.
Okay.
Or the day after.
And do you recommend doing one a day for a week? Or I was thinking it would be one a week for a month, but that sounds like it's too far away.
It's too far away. And here's the key the email marketing, a lot of time, because I used to think that way, oh, I can't email them every day.
Yeah, that's like crazy pants, right?
But here's the deal, and here's what I had to realize. When people sign up for your free offer, if they're not already aware of your brand, like deeply engaged with your brand, they have no idea who you are.
Right.
So in email, just like social media and just like anything else, there's a lot of competition. So there are a lot of people emailing your customer every single day. So you have to make sure that you are doing something different. And by different, I'm not talking about timing. I'm just talking about the relationship that you're building inside of the emails. Because it's one thing to send the email, but it's another thing to build a relationship through the way you copy your email. So your initial welcome email is going to set them up. And I call this like an indoctrination campaign, where I introduce the product, I give you what you asked for, but I also help you to understand that there's more to know. And I want to introduce you to me. I want to introduce you to the company. I want to give you insight into some other people that have been able to take advantage of what you signed up for and their results. And then I want to give you an opportunity to do the same thing. So the emails that you're sending out the next day might be, hey, I'm Luann. I'm the window treatment expert here over at Window Works. Here's my experience. I just wanted to say hi, pop in and introduce myself, because the likelihood that this person really knows you is very slim. What attracted them to you is what you're giving them for free. Now you want to build a relationship with them so they will begin to trust you. And email is very intimate. It's almost like your phone. If somebody's emailing you, it's almost like they're calling you. So now you want to bring guards down, put a pretty picture of your face in, introduce yourself, and let them know that yesterday you opted in for this video. So today I wanted to introduce myself. The day after, yesterday I introduced myself. So today I just wanted to give you a little bit more information about how to pick your windows, or why this is important. But every email you're sending, you're referencing the last positive action that they had with you, so they understand why they're getting the email. And it's not a bugaboo situation, but now it's, oh, they really care about me and they're really trying to help.
Okay. So, and these emails sound like, whether they're video, so if they're video, they sound like they're 2-4 minutes at most.
It's short. Very, very short.
Right. And if they're emails now, see, I have to say, well, either way, you have to come up with a copy. I was about to say, for an email, it seems a little bit like an actual written email seems like it is a little more intimidating, because, or is it? I'm getting this whole Ray Edwards and copywriting and what's the best subject line on the thing, and what's the first line going to be? It's got to attract them in. So do we have to do all that, or do we just be ourselves and don't worry about it? And maybe, yes, Ray Edwards could write better copy for us, but whatever we write is good enough. Like, where's the reality between getting expert advice on those subject lines, those first sentences, or just like, look, it's all I can do is to get this out?
Right. You want to be yourself. Of course, there are some things that you can do that help with it, because the subject line, it's meant to get the email open.
Right.
But the actual email is meant to convert in whatever that conversion is. So in your subject line, of course, but you just say, hey, it's Luann.
That's it. That's
just saying hi. You're yourself.
Right.
That's it. Like, you can't be anybody other than who you are. You want to be who you would be if they were speaking to you one-on-one. If you were in person with that person and having an in-person conversation, you want to be you.
Okay. So, and is it, Kae, that I guess what I'm really wondering is it that you can look at this as doing the best you can now, and if it really and when it really works for you, if you want to start to take it to another level and really get some expert advice on copywriting, then you could do it that way? Or is it more like what I said in the beginning? I get nervous that I make this investment in money and time, and if I don't have the one component, which might be the copywriting or that subject line, from an expert level, that I've wasted all of my money and time because I haven't, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So no, it's always evolving, and there's always opportunity to be better in everything. Right now, it is getting it out. Mm-hmm. So it's getting something in place that you don't already have in place that will help effectively move people through a process. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole point of email marketing, is just to move them from one stage of the customer journey to the next. Mm-hmm. And if you can do that in the most natural way that you know how right now, then it will show, it will work, because if they connected with you, if they became aware of your brand via social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
They became aware of you via Instagram story or Facebook Live or something that you posted online. They trusted you enough to go and get your free offer. If you're not perfect there, then they're not expecting perfection in your email.
Mm-hmm. And I think I was more not perfect in, not worried about not perfect. It's more like a technical perfect. In other words, I've done enough listening to other podcasts out in the business world to know that there are tons of people that recommend, take this course on copywriting, and your subject line, and your first, your subject line is important, and your header line is important, and then your first sentence is important, and then the second header, sentence is, and it's like, and that's where I just like go, I can't possibly learn about this enough in order to do it. So therefore it doesn't get done. I was
complicated.
Yeah.
So there's 4 pieces to your email that, of course, you want to pay attention to. Your subject line, its job is to get the email open. If you do a good job in your subject line and just telling a story, it's still a story. Yesterday you downloaded this, so today I'm saying hi. People will open it, right?
Okay.
And then in the first sentence, I don't really focus on the first. It's a greeting. Say hello.
I'm a person.
Like, say hi. If you call someone, and I always reference this, what's the first thing that you do when you walk into a consultation or you call somebody on the phone? You greet them with a hello.
Right.
And it's a conversation. So you make it conversational. Are there places where the links can go? Sure. And that technical stuff can be taught, but literally, if you have a template that says, this is what you do here, and there's just 4 elements: the subject, the copy, and the clicks, and that's it, the links and where you put them. And that's literally it. Everything else is just you speaking from your heart and telling a story that you would tell if you were verbally speaking it. And that's literally it.
Okay. So
I'm not a copywriter at all.
Okay.
So.
And it's working for you. So, right. Okay. Well, and it sounds like what we say in everything that we talk about in our marketing and identifying our brand and everything, it's literally picture your ideal client and talk to them. What do you say to them? What do they say back to you? What questions do they ask you? What's that relationship like? So it sounds like you're saying just duplicate that in a series of emails or videos.
Right.
So give us some examples. So you have worked with enough interior designers to have expertise in our particular industry, because I mean, you work with all types of entrepreneurs, but you have had enough interior design. I know you've had dozens of interior design clients, so I know you know our industry. So if we say, for example, just to really give some people some meat and potatoes on this, Kae, if we say that the first email or video, whatever it is that tip. So I'm a kitchen designer. I'm going to say the top 5 things to make sure that's in your next kitchen design, or the top 5 mistakes that people make when designing their own kitchen, whatever it is. Second email is, hi, I'm Sally Smith. And yesterday I told you about these tips for kitchen design. And today I just wanted to share with you, what do we say, a little bit of my background and my business? I mean, is that like, this is who I am, or not that much? What are we doing there?
Right. This is who I am. So I just wanted to share with you who I am, how long I've been doing it, why I love kitchens.
Okay.
And that, I'll be emailing you periodically.
Oh, and right. And that's key. Telling them I'll be emailing you. Okay. Mm-hmm. So now third email, do we go back to, yesterday, I'm repeating what you said. So you repeat what, repeat what you've shared with them yesterday. So yesterday I told you a little bit about me. Today, I want to give you another tip on kitchen design. Like, do we stay on the same? So a designer's full service, but the opt-in for this particular sequence was a kitchen design opt-in. Do we stay for 7 days on kitchen design, and we don't say, and by the way, I do paint and wallpaper? Like, how do we do that?
Yes. So you stay in the same lane, because your opt-in is going to help you to book your consultation. You can sell your paint and wallpaper in your consultation.
Right, because this person showed interest in a kitchen design freebie, so we want to keep pounding that. So is the third one back to, hey, I have one more great tip on kitchen design? Is that what that is?
You can do one more great tip, something for them to consume, an extra tip, or you could do like a case study of a kitchen that you redesigned, show some before and after, talk about some of the reservations that the customer might have had that you were able to help them through. Then you start to provide that type of value through your emails.
Okay.
Hey, kitchen design is hard. Or, hey, kitchen design doesn't have to be hard. So you take that pressure off. These are some of the things that you can do. And, meet Lucy. We worked with her 6 months ago in her kitchen. This was the size of her kitchen. This is what it looked like beforehand. This was the process that we used to help her. And as a result, this is what the kitchen came out, and this is what she had to say about it.
Okay. And so if you are doing that in an email, it's almost like a blog post. You have a little bit of copy, you have a picture, another little bit of copy, another picture. And then do you have a little testimonial from Lucy at the end of it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Testimonial at the end. I'm scribbling like a madwoman. Okay. I'm just going to say. Okay. Now, so that's third. What's fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh? You just keep coming up with ideas, or they're specific? Do we start to make a transition to asking for a consultation? How does this happen?
Start to make a transition. So the fourth email, I typically will take off a day or two just to give them some time. Right. And then when we come back, it's, a few days ago, you opted in and you were interested in learning how to remodel your kitchen and what you needed to do. I sent you over Lucy's information, kind of gave you some insight into how we helped her. We'd love to talk to you.
Okay.
We'd love to chat to see if there's anything that we can do to help.
That's awesome. Okay. And then do you just say, reply and email us back here and ask, do you just leave it hanging? We'd love to talk to you if you'd love help. Do you leave it, or do you ask for the connection?
I ask for the connection. So leave a link to your calendar.
Right there. That Acuity calendar, everybody, that Gavin told us about. Hello. There it is right there. The value.
Calendar, let them go and book some time. It's a lot easier when they can go and do it on their own time. Look at your availability, look at theirs, and book an appointment for you guys to chat. And this is not the consultation. It's just to chat. This is just to talk through, hey, where are you in the process? Are you ready to move forward? Once you get them on the phone, at that point, it's your job to sell.
Right. So, and the thing is, I will just remind everybody of Gavin's show. I don't know how many weeks ago on Power Talk Friday it was, that we talked about acuity scheduling, and we literally pulled apart how you could have different blocks of time. So Tuesdays might be the day that you take 20-minute consultations from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And that's where this link would go to just Tuesdays. And of course, you might offer it on Tuesdays and Thursdays or whatever, but Wednesdays might be the day that you offer full-on paid 2-hour consultations. And when you get to that, part of the sequence or whatever, then they can only block there. So that's where this is so important, because they can you can lead them to the type of appointment that they are booking at this point, and you don't have to worry about somebody who came in through your email sequence who is so interested and loves this, but she wants to make an appointment and talk to you in the middle of your vendor trade measure day, right? Okay. Okay. So fourth is, give them a link to chat and, talk about how you might help them with their project. And you said there that we wait maybe 2 days from between the third one and the fourth one.
Right.
Okay. What are we doing in the fifth one? So now so let me just say something. If somebody makes the appointment to chat, now I know we're not, this show isn't about how it's technically run, but I think it's important here. If somebody at that point in sequence, like slam dunk, okay, I'm making an appointment to chat, does the email responder sequence automatically stop itself so that, it does?
Yes, you have the ability to tag that customer so that they are taken out of that sequence.
And does it happen automatically, or do I have to know to do it? Like, does it happen if they do the appointment, something magically happens with the gremlins in computer land, or do I have to do it?
Well, you'll have to set up the connection for it. So if Acuity, you have something called Zapier, where you can say, okay, if a customer creates an appointment, then add this tag. And then you can go into your email provider and say, if this tag is added, remove this one. And then that email sequence that you have set up to go out is only going out to the people that have opted in that have a special tag on their name. And if that tag is removed, then they won't receive the email.
That's crazy. It's way, way, way over my head, but the fact that somebody can do it, I love it. Okay, so at this point, we hope a lot of people have left this little email sequence, situation. We hope that they've gone, and like you said, on that appointment, that now it's up to you. You got to listen very intently to what they're saying to you, listen to the cues on what their hot buttons are and how you can serve them, spit it back to them. I understand that you have had difficulty with designing a kitchen in the past and it really was not productive. And now I understand you tell me you're looking for somebody to help you with this. Yes, I am. I'm the girl. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's say somebody hasn't opted in for a chat now. What's happening in the fifth email?
If they have not opted in, and this is where the technical part starts to come in. So if they haven't opted in, but they open the email, you could have an email that is specifically sent out to them that says, hey, just wanted to touch bases. I saw where you opened the email, but you didn't get an opportunity to book your appointment. Just wanted to send you a follow-up just as a reminder to go ahead and get on the calendar if this is something that you're interested in doing.
That's important. I'm going to tell you why. Because you might open the email at a traffic light and think, I got to do this, but I got to get my calendar. And then the next day you completely forget about it. But here comes the next email and you're like, oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right. I got to do that.
That's right.
It's a gentle nudge to remind them of what's going on.
And what I like about it, too, is because so often when a client doesn't take the action that seems obvious to us and the one that we want them to take, which in this case is making that appointment to speak with us, so often by human nature, we process that as they're not interested in me. And it's really, I know that in, all of the conversations that I had with designers and in all the one-on-one coaching that I've been doing over these last couple of months, I have to say one of the things I keep really trying to drive home, and I'm sure, Kae, you have found it in your own coaching too, is it's not usually about you. It's usually about them. Yeah, they're in line at the movies and they open the email and now they just didn't have a chance to do it, or they have to ask their husband or their girlfriend or their partner first, or they want to give they did this whole thing because they were interested for their mother as a present, and now it's time to do the present for their mom, but they need the mom's schedule. So okay, I love that. So it's so valid that they might have opened but not made the appointment. Now it sounds like you have an either or here that's happening automatically. They didn't open it all. Is that the other thing?
Right. So if they didn't open it at all, then what I like to do is send an email with the same subject line, but with, how when you reply to an email, it has that RE. Mm-hmm. So I'll put that in the subject line, and the first line, this is where that first line thing comes in. Hey, I just wanted to make sure you saw this. I sent it yesterday and I didn't see where you had an opportunity to look at it yet, so I didn't want you to miss it.
Okay. Sure you saw it. Right. You might have been busy and you might have been thinking, I'm going to do it. Okay. I love it. Okay. And then is there a 6th and the 7th? Where are we going with that after this?
And then the final email that I might send out to them is just, hey, just wanted to check in one more time, just doing my due diligence and following up. If it's not a good time, no problem. We'll stay connected. I'll continue to send you some goodies once a week, or however often you're sending out your newsletter or your blog post. I just wanted to make sure, I know life gets busy, and you have to reference that because it's just like you said. No, your customers, you have to think of yourself as a consumer. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I've got soccer practice, football practice, band practice, all on the same day. So, sometimes I will open an email and be like, oh my goodness, I need to answer that. And even being a business owner, I'll start, but that doesn't mean I went back to check my start email. I may not get back to that for a couple of days. Right. So your job as the business owner, and this is what is going to separate you from the next designer, because most designers will stop at the first no. Mm-hmm. It's just like a sales conversation. I'm assuming that if you are opening the emails, that you are interested.
That's right. That's right. It's not no, it's just maybe not now, right?
It's not right now. I'm busy, I'm distracted, whatever. So that final email is like, hey, just, my last time reaching out, not to bother you, but I just wanted to do my due diligence. Right.
And the thing is, that's where it's very, it's really great if you've already been writing a blog and you have been collating it maybe once a month into a newsletter or something like that, so that what you're saying is, because if we use the example of kitchen design, most people, if they are interested in it and knowing that they're going to be gutting out their kitchen, they're not really gathering the information the day before the demo team shows up. So it could be somebody in November knowing that them and their partner discussed this spring, we're going to do the kitchen over again. And in between commercials on Scandal, they're like, hey, let me just see what's out on the internet about information, right? Like, it's not a driving need at this moment, but they're gathering information. And so what happens is this sequence of 6 emails comes to them, and it all comes in a week, and it's still 6 months before they're actually going to go about hiring. But if they are on your email list at that point, and you are set up where you have a monthly newsletter, right, where they can, you just now it's okay that once a month they go into that funnel, okay, and they just here's yes, and so they just keep, oh yeah, her design is really good. And here's the other great thing about that is, if you are attracting them for one skill set, kitchen design, bathroom design, paint selection, whatever skill set you used to attract them. If you do other services, and those are expressed through your email, your newsletters over the coming months, that person might have looked for kitchen design, but the kitchen design might be part of the first floor renovation. Right. And now they think to themselves, wow, this designer is really good at kitchens, but this could be my designer for the whole first floor. This is awesome.
First floor. It gives you the door to walk through, to nurture a relationship that you wouldn't have been able to do.
I love it. It's really, it's exciting, because it goes back to what I said before. It's a little daunting to think about the content and to put it together, because you do have to put it together all at the front. You have to, really give, like you said, I loved your example of storyboarding. And of course, every designer will relate to that. You would never just, pick a sofa one day and then 6 months later pick a lamp, and you know what I mean? Right. You lay the whole thing out and you put it together, and you step back and you look at it as a body of work. Does this flow? My opening email, my and my content all the way through. I think it's really terrific. I don't know if you remember this or you knew this, but the very first podcast episode I did it with Heather McManus, and she's here in New Jersey, and what attracted me to her, I never knew her. We're here in business together, a half hour away from each other for many years. But when I was initially scouring and Googling interior designers and attaching all these little weird other words to the word interior designer to get people's niche and specialties, right? Mm-hmm. In order looking for people to interview, she had developed a series of 30 videos that if you opted in, you got a video every day for 30 days. And the body of work, and she went through it. If you're interested, if this appeals to you and you think you might want to do it from a video standpoint, go back and listen to episode 1 if you haven't, because she did not hire a film crew. She literally set up a camera on a tripod, sat in her living room, and changed her outfit. And I don't remember exactly, but I feel like the 30 videos, it took her like 3 days to do, or something, like 3 days to actually film. She put a lot of, it's just like we're talking about. She put a lot of effort into coming up with the 30 topics and the what she would say in each of the videos. But I think she ultimately filmed them. Like I said, don't quote me on it, but I feel like it was over 3 days. And then, she did the editing. I think she worked with one person outsourcing a part of it. But when I tell you, it was a bootstrapping operation. And she said that people, when they call her, they're just like, I already know you. I'm not even thinking anything about any qualms at all. I know your expertise. I know what you specialize in. I know your personality. It's like you had me at hello.
Yep. And if you can muster up the courage to get in front of the camera, do it. It converts very, very well.
Better than the printed word?
does.
Yeah.
Especially with you being in a creative industry, people like to see. They want to see, they want to hear. They can't touch, they can't feel. But as many senses as you can touch through your email, you will increase your chances of conversion.
However, we shouldn't, if somebody struggles with the confidence to be on camera, they shouldn't not do this because video might convert a little bit better, right? Because the email, if you love to write, or if you even if you don't love it, but you're more inclined to be able to sit and get that done, then that's okay too.
That's okay. That is okay. And if you want to do voiceovers where you create a presentation and you're not on camera and you record your screen while you go through a presentation, same thing. They can hear your voice. They can see it if you don't want to be in front of the camera. And if that's not your thing still, then just write it out. Just do not use it as don't allow anything to stop you from doing this, because this will help you see where your customers are in that journey.
I love it. It's so good. It's so good. And as always, you just break it down so nicely for us so that we can really visualize and understand how we could use it in our business. I think it's amazing. So I just want to share with everybody too. I happen to know this show is airing, I guess, 3 days after Kae launched her, what's it called? Boot camp email marketing. Email marketing boot camp. And so this is on, obviously, Power Talk Friday. This program that Kae has launched this previous Tuesday. And the thing is, it's recorded content. And so it's not too late to get in on it, because tell us about the boot camp, Kae, and why it's not too late and what you expect to cover.
So the way the bootcamp works is, because I know that this is a lot of information, I've broken up the content over the course of like 10 weeks. And 2 of those weeks gives me an opportunity to sit with you while we're going through the bootcamp, to review what you put together, to give you feedback, to give you insight into what you can tweak to make it better, for you to ask your questions. We even do a few hot seat analysis so that you can get input from the group. So it's a group coaching environment, and the group we're trying to keep small, but as many people that want to join, will accept them. But what we do is we break down this whole process. So this week we started, and this is, first week, it's like the first day of school, right? You go in.
Sharpen your pencils.
Yeah, the house rules. You get to understand what's happening. And next week we'll really start to go into that detail of what we've talked here, plus some. So next week we're going into creating a promotional calendar for your email for the whole year. So you know when to send it out, how to project your revenue, what your goals are. So you can this will even inform you of, do you have enough power on the front end to support your financial goals? And if not, do we need to make some improvements there? Then going through creating your emails, storyboarding your emails, helping you to create your indoctrination campaign, helping you understand the different types of emails, when you should send them, when you shouldn't send them, how to analyze them. So it gives you a full scope of email marketing. I designed the bootcamp so that, and I want to say this because this is important, and you said something at the beginning of the show that I think is really, really important. In order for you to pass this off to somebody else, you have to understand it yourself.
Right.
You have to understand it yourself. So while it's cumbersome to go through 10 weeks of this to learn it, my intent is not for you to learn it, for you to have to do it yourself. It is absolutely designed to be a training tool for whomever you put in place. I do expect that as a business owner, you would go through it yourself to get an understanding. But if there's somebody on your team that is handling your online marketing that you think it's a good fit for, then you invest in the training for them and send them through the training so that they can get what they need from it, and you can start to see the results for your business.
Yeah, I think it's really, like I said, I know it's my nature. I said it in a Facebook Live a couple of days ago. Kimberly asked me, why do I not necessarily struggle with big confidence issues? And I said to her, and she said, did you just pop out this way? She said. And I said to her, look, I've said to everybody 1,000 times how I was raised with the Silva method, and my mother and my aunt. I have to say, I had a great dad. I have a great dad and a great stepdad, but it's the women people that raise you. Right. At least that's the women people that raised me, right? They're like loving support on the side. But the thing about it is that it isn't just that. It isn't just, oh, okay. But it is because I literally, when I set out to do something, I specifically set out to learn everything about it before I attempt it. So that's why it's not that when I wanted to do the podcast, from the idea, hey, I want a podcast. Am I like, yes, confidence. I'm going to be a rock star. This is going to be easy. I'm going to have this, no big deal. No. That's not it. But by the time I'm ready to launch, I literally did 6 months worth of research. 6 months. I mean, I'm telling you, 2-3 hours a day I spent reading, listening to podcasts on how to podcast, listening to other podcasts for the techniques and things that I admired in them. And so what happens is by the time I come to something, if it requires 6 months to get ready or it requires 3 hours to get ready, that's why I feel like for a lot of what I do, I step into it with some amount of confidence. Okay. And you hear me in my voice. I'm not a robot. I have the same fears, the same challenges that everybody else does, but I attack it. I go with a plan. This is nervous for me. This is crazy for me. I'm a little out on a limb. Let me learn about it. And so I think that this program that you have is so awesome because somebody like myself would go through the program and then I will turn it over to somebody. I'll be like, okay, here, go set it up, set those little, gremlins up in the background and do all that. I have no desire to actually then implement, but I need to know and I need to understand it so that I have confidence that the person I turn it over to is doing it right. Exactly. Exactly. And the thing is, we're all at different stages. A designer out there that possibly is looking at the first quarter of 2018 and maybe doesn't have some clients in the pipeline. Well, guess what? Yeah, then you know what? Spend time learning it and spend time doing it. Learn it and do it, because you have the time to do it now. You don't need to pay somebody to do it. You can. We didn't talk about the technical part, but I know, Kae, that they can also do the technical part themselves if they're inclined to. Yes.
Absolutely.
Right. Exactly.
It is technical, and there are some things that you're going to be like, goodness gracious, that's a lot of work, but you can do it. It's nothing that is outside of your skill level. Technical things can be taught.
Right. Right. And the truth is, if you are with no clients or very few clients in the pipeline, rather than sit around all day and figure, what am I going to do? Dedicate yourself to, 4 hours a week, I'm going to dedicate to creating a sales funnel system for my interior design business. And my goal is to implement it at first opt-in by January, 2nd. And I'm going to get running and going. I mean, it's the middle of November. It's 8 weeks away, 6 weeks away. That's doable.
It's doable. It's more than doable.
I love it. I love it a lot. Okay. So now the course itself is live at 8:00 Central Time. Well, tell us 8 p.m. Central Time or Eastern Time?
So 8 p.m. Central Standard Time is when I am live with the group.
Okay.
So it's hybrid. So we have an hour to kick off the week. And then there are self-paced courses that you take throughout the week with assignments to keep you on track.
Okay. And you don't have to be available 8:00 Central Time. You can get the replay of that, and then all of it can be done on your own time.
On your own time,
right?
Absolutely.
It's just that the new content, video content from you comes out every Tuesday night, and then all of the content is accessible to them all through the week.
Absolutely.
Okay. I love it. I think it's amazing. And so here's what we have, everybody, which is so exciting. This course is what, $949, Kae?
It's $949 retail.
And you are giving a discount to a well-designed business podcast listeners. Woo-hoo-hoo!
And, I am extending a 25% discount to your listeners.
That's a hefty discount. Thank you, Kae.
You are welcome.
Yeah, so
you are more than welcome, and I am hosting that discount on the website. You'll just have to go to kaewhitaker.com/land email, and there'll be a checkout form right there on the site for you to be able to check out. You can pay it all at one time, or you even have the ability to split it up into 3 monthly payments. I'm fine with that as well.
That's awesome. I can't thank you enough. And I have to say, everybody, Kae is going to come back. She said that she would come back, and we'll talk a little bit more about the technical end of it, about the type of, the website and the, smart card and all that other. All that other stuff that makes my head swim. So this is the helicopter view of the why, and the why you would do it and the way you would set it up from a helicopter view, the concept, the storyboard. So again, in interior design land, this is having the storyboard, but then you have to have your process behind it on how you actually execute and shop for your resources and purchase your resources and all of that. So we've got our big helicopter view, our storyboard, start to daydream about what your opt-in could be, what your sequence would look like, the different content that you would put in those different sequences, and then either join Kae's group and get the information right now, or just keep watching for Kae on a Power Talk Friday, and we'll just keep, bringing you through the information there. So thank you so much, Kae. You are just awesome. I'm so, so thrilled that we were connected through this podcast and that you're my friend. Thank you.
You are more than welcome.
Thank you for joining me again today for another episode of A Well-Designed Business. This podcast is a production of WindowWorks in Livingston, New Jersey, your trade resource for custom window treatments and awnings. Learn more about WindowWorks at www.windowworks-nj.com. All of our music is original music by Room 2 Productions. Please contact us if you want to learn more about original music for your business or your events.